Hello, my name is Simon Chisala Piri, and this is the Wallet Wise campaign from Standard Bank. Now, can you be young and be an entrepreneur? The answer is pretty much yes. We're sitting here today with three panelists who will be telling us how they started their businesses using sound financial advice and means in creating successful businesses. And also they are creating opportunities for the disadvantaged youth. Now, I think that this is something that you will be keen into watching. Now, our three panelists are here today and they will be sharing their stories with us. So we're joined in studio by our three panelists who are here with us to share their entrepreneurial journeys. In studio, we have got Itumeleng Lekomanyane, who is the founder of Sandwich Ntontuns, and we've got Jennifer Marikela, who is the founder of Naki Skincare. And joining us via technology is Lesego Serolong, who is the founder of Bokamoso. Now we've reached the exciting part where we, of course, get to know our panelists a little bit better. And of course, right now, I've got Itumeleng with me. And Itumeleng, just tell us, who are you and what is Brand Itumeleng all about?
First of all, let me just introduce myself. I'm Itumeleng Lekomanyane. I'm an entrepreneur, a street vendor, and a father. So what I basically do is I sell sandwiches on the streets of Joburg. So last year around this time, I was at the lowest point of my life, thinking of new ways of making income for myself. So I just decided, let me just go out there and introduce something that's going to be unique, something that is going to say Itumeleng.
That is such a brilliant and, of course, a wonderful story that he's sharing. But I also have another question for you. Outside of everything that you have just told me, what is the one motto in life that you live by?
The one motto in life that I live by is wake up, dress up, look good, smell good, go out there, make a difference in your life. Nobody owes you anything. Yes. You only have yourself to rely on.
That's true. I mean, I also would want to buy a sandwich from someone dressed in a suit.
Just putting it out there. All right. And thank you so much for sharing your story. Now I'm going to go over to my second panelist over here. Jennifer, tell me, who are you?
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Jennifer Marikela.
Yes.
I am the founder and owner of Naki Skincare. I give solution to skin, blemishes, stretch marks, cellulite, you name them. Yeah.
Okay, so it means that if I want my skin to glow, I'm coming to you, right?
Yes.
Amazing, that's perfect. And now tell us, when you started your business, how did that little aspect come about? Because not everyone wakes up and decides to start a skincare range. What motivated you to start that?
Okay, I was job hunting and I couldn't find any luck. So I decided to use my 200 rand that I was having, and I started buying packaging, and the rest is history.
All right. I love how everyone here just talks about their humble beginnings, from either maintenance money to 200 rands. It just really goes to show that starting an entrepreneurial venture does not require millions. You just need to actually wake up and do something. And of course, Jennifer, and then going to our next question, what is the one motto that you live by that you know is true to you?
Patience pays.
Patience pays.
Yes, it does. It pays, because when I started the skincare, people
Yes.
were not buying like right away.
True.
But then I had to be strong and have faith. Today they are buying.
That sounds absolutely amazing. And of course, we are joined by our third panelist, who unfortunately is not physically with us, but through the means of technology is joining us from Cape Town. Now, Lesego, I want you to tell me, who are you?
Hi everyone, my name is Lesego Serolong and I'm the founder of Bokamoso Impact Investments and Bokamoso Foods. Bokamoso is a social enterprise that uses business as a catalyst for social and economic impact in South Africa. Bokamoso Food focuses on providing training to young people in the space of agriculture, where we provide training and we also provide mentorship and offtake and access to markets as well.
Of course, my next question, of course, to you is, what is that one motto that you live by? What does Brand Lesego live by?
One of the mottos that I live by as a young person is that when I started business, I didn't have any experience. I just had the desire to really create sustainable change in South Africa through job creation. I had to throw myself out there and I had to take the risk. So that's the motto that I live by as a young person in South Africa, and something that I want you to always think about, that even when you are afraid, you need to take that first step. So that's my personal motto.
Now, of course, we know that as businesses grow, we always have to delve into the digital media space, and that also entails digital banking. Now, with digital banking, it opens a whole new door for a new type of crime called cybercrime. Whether it is phishing, sending you scam alerts, and everything else in between, I think we as businesses have kind of suffered a little bit here and there in terms of, the new cybercrime that has just, taken wave, all over the world. Now, I'm going to throw it at you, Itumeleng, right now. When you are doing your business, what kind of cybercrime have you ever experienced? And now that you have learned from that experience, what can you suggest and tell other people on reducing the risk of being prone to cybercrime?
First of all, as an entrepreneur, you have to open up a business account. So a business account is going to it's very easy to manage. So I've also encountered like cybercrime where there were like unauthorized debit orders in my account because they do not take large amounts, they just take little amounts which accumulate to like big amounts, and then it's different companies and you'll never know who these people are. So I suggest people must just go through their bank statements every single month to just see what goes out of the account, what comes in, to just be sure.
That's a good story because I've also suffered the same with unauthorized things just going off your account. I know it's really a nightmare for any type of entrepreneur. And then for you, Jennifer, tell us your story. Have you ever dealt with cybercrime? And if you have, what are the risks that now you are taking in reducing the likely possibility of you becoming a victim yet again?
Oh yes, I was a victim, but my story is totally different from his. I received an email from small business department and I thought it was true. Then they said to me I should send the business proposal, which I did. And then second email was, can you please pay 10,000 rand so that we can give you this amount that you're asking for funding. Then that was an alert. I was like, no, I can't do this. So people are there, they want to scam you. You must be very, very careful.
They always do say that you need to just keep an eye out, keep a third eye out, a cyber eye, just to make sure that you do not fall for these scams. And then I'm going to throw it off to Lesego, right? Lesego, now tell me, have you personally ever been a victim of cybercrime in your business? And now that, it has happened, what are the risks that you are putting into place, to just buffer the possibility of you becoming a victim of cybercrime?
We are privy to all these cyber crimes that we see. I mean, in my business, I've received like emails where, especially for tenders, where companies would say, please send over your documents. But one of the things that I've noticed is that, you always, if you see something suspicious and there's a number or an internet link, just make sure that you find, you call that particular department, not the number that's listed on those forms, but you call the department directly to inquire about a particular tender that may be, advertised. And remember, there are companies that sell information out there. So just know that you are always at risk. Make sure that, your PIN number is kept safe. Your access, who accesses your phone is very limited, especially for a business.
And then in moving on to the next question that we're doing is we're going to be looking at responsible lending. Now, we all know that as businesses, there are times where, you need to seek financial help and financial support, from a financial service provider. And the question that I'm going to ask you is, when you go and you seek financial help in starting your business, what are the measures that you put in place to ensure that you pay back the money that you borrowed in the first place?
As I've said before, try to live within your means. Do not borrow money that you cannot be able to pay back. You must have like realistic goals when you're trying to get a loan or maybe lending from a financial institution. Just know basically just buy what you're gonna need and then just try work on profits.
That is very sound and smart advice, I might add. And then for you, Jen, knowing that you have a business that I am pretty sure requires a lot in, of course, keeping the operations going. Skincare is such very lucrative and it's just a very good market to penetrate in. In terms of responsible lending, tell us, how do you make sure that, number one, you seek for financial assistance when needed, and number 2, making sure that you pay back the money.
Hey, yeah, it's really lucrative. I always lend a little bit of money. When I started with only 200 bucks because I was avoiding that if I start with a large amount of money, I might not able to pay it back. So I will advise that when you start a business, you should start small, then you will see it grow. Because if you start by lending a large amount of money, you might be able not to pay it back.
That I think that makes perfect sense. You know, I think what we're taking from you is that you always just have to you grow with the business. So you start small, you do what you can, and then you gradually but slowly and surely scale it up to reach a point where, you know, it's now big, it's now mass, and you can also function off the profits of the company, which is quite good because most people do necessarily think that you might need a very large capital to start. And 9 times out of 10, that is not advisable, you know? And I'm gonna throw it now to Lesego. Lesego, now you tell me, I know you've got a very interesting story to tell in terms of, you know, how you started your business, you know? So now, like, tell us, you know, when you started the business and you had to encounter times where, you know, you had to ask for, you know, just financial help from a business, how did you navigate that? And how did you successfully manage to pay off the money? Because I do know that sometimes businesses need a little bit of credit to run. So just tell us a little bit about your story and, you know, a bit of advice on how you can impart to the youth on responsible lending.
First of all, before you even think about taking a loan or debt for your business, I think you need to think about the why. Why do you want to take this loan? Where is it going to take your business? How are you planning on paying it back? Because remember, banks need to make money as well. As a business, it's very, very important that you make sure that before you make any major decisions, you also consult with your business consultant to make sure that they can assist you with making the right choices, but also to be able to assist to assess if you'd be able to indeed pay back the money. It's very, very important for you to be able to pay back the money, because if you don't pay back the money, you know, you might end up being blacklisted as a business, which obviously will impact your future and growth as a business. So it's very important to think about these questions that I just mentioned. If you're in a position to pay back that money, if this money will actually help you get to point B, which that point B, I assume it will help you like with your growth. So it's very important that, you know, in the situation where you're not able to pay back the money, that you communicate with your business consultant or your business banker to come up with arrangements. Because remember, banks also understands that, you know, we are businesses, we struggle. I mean, we've just experienced COVID, and a lot of businesses are still recovering from the rubbles and impact of COVID.
Perfect. Love it.
So now we just have one question for all our panelists to answer. Very brief, very short, and very concise. One question. What does banking smart mean to you?
Banking smart means to me choosing the right bank to bank with, understanding what the benefits of banking with that specific bank is, understanding the bank charges, how you can actually invest in that bank, and how the bank can actually grow your business and understand you more as an entrepreneur.
Okay. And what does banking smart mean to you?
Banking smart means that I should put my money in easy equities, then I get profit. And also it means that I'm choosing the right bank that doesn't overcharge me. Yes.
Now, I've got a very interesting challenge for our panelists who are actually here with us today. Now, it's an elevator pitch. In less than a minute, I want them to tell you guys at home their business in less than a minute. I'm going to throw it off to this Mr. Sandwich and Tonton Itumeleng, and you will pitch in exactly 1 minute to the viewers who are watching you. And your pitch starts in 3, 2, 1.
Sandwich and Tontons is a street food brand in the streets of Joburg. We're a group of hustlers and innovators, people who are just out there to make a difference in their lives, people who are showing the youth that you can make money on the streets, even if you do not have a qualification, even if you do not have the relevant academia. So Sandwich and Tontons is creating employment for other youths and also teaching other youths on how to make money for themselves and grow themselves and into the entrepreneurs that they think they'll become one day through the various franchising models with the ideas that are given out into the market on how to make sandwiches and how to also do the other baked goods that you do have.
Fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely amazing. Now we're going to pass it on to, panelist number 2. She is, of course, the founder of Nike Skincare, and she's going to tell us in exactly 1 minute what her business is all about. It's an elevator pitch, baby, so you must take it all the way to the top. And in 3, 2, 1, tell them.
Thank you so much. Nike Skincare is a brand that celebrates individuality and diversity. We focus on giving solutions to skin, such as blemishes, scratch marks, and you name them. So ladies, that if ever you don't take care of your skin, then you have to cover it up. So we'll help you get a clear skin so that you can remove those blemishes, scratch marks, so that you can go to the beach wearing those bikinis. Yes, thank you.
Fantastic. Absolutely love it. Now, we've heard from, of course, our 2 panelists, and joining us from Cape Town, we have Lesego, who in 1 minute is going to tell us what her business, Bokamoso, is all about. Lesego, I'm giving you a countdown, so just breathe in, take a deep breath, and in 1 minute and less than, actually, tell the viewers at home what Bokamoso is all about. And in 3, 2, 1, go.
Bokamoso is a social enterprise that uses business as a catalyst for social and economic impact in South Africa. Bokamoso Food focuses on providing training to young people in the space of agriculture, where we provide training and we also provide mentorship and offtake and access to markets as well. We also provide advisory services to the government and the public sector as well in the agricultural space. Bokamoso Foods was started in 2017, and we do food manufacturing, agro-processing, and food packaging. Some of our products include honey, which we call Be Loved Honey. We also provide cold and cold beverages to different institutions across the country.
Now, of course, the one thing that I'm taking from this very fruitful discussion is the fact that you just need to get started and get going. Have a vision in mind, find the right people, and just get moving. In Kasilingo, they always do say, "Vuka ndoda uhambe uyopanda," and I think that is exactly what our entrepreneurs here today are doing. Now, for more information with regards to WalletWise, feel free to just check out the link below. And once that is done, remember, don't mize, be WalletWise. It's a wrap from me and the team. Thank you so much.